There you go. Are we good? Are we good on your end? Can't, can't hear you.
Hi, can you guys hear us?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us well.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. How's it going, James?
How you doing, Doc?
Hi, how are you guys? Hi, Teresa. Hi, Dr. Roberto.
Thanks for joining us on your podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys being on here. It means a lot to me.
To us.
You know, if you give anything that's positive to your audience, that's what we're about.
Yes. And they definitely need to hear a lot more about COVID. We could not get enough information about it because it's so needed and everybody is just scattered in different areas and they just want to know information on how to keep themselves healthy.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of unknowns, uncertainty, anxiety, and fear. And what we're trying to provide information so that people can, from their own homes, start to, build up their own immune system, to feel, more positive psychologically, and, really start looking at this, to take a pause and realize how you could be healthier, mentally and physically. And, that's what Teresa and I were always trying to work on, to get people to that level so that they could feel more confidence going through this whole, pandemic.
Yes.
Yes. Have you had a lot of patients that has had COVID?
Actually,
We've not. We're trying to focus actually on the ones that are well, because if we start bringing in the sick ones, then we kind of, mix them up with a well one. So we chose to treat the well and
we're trying to prevent it.
More of a preventative perspective.
So we haven't actually seen anyone, but with the COVID. But the whole point is, what I'm always talking about is starting in your home kitchen.
Okay.
Is how you increasing your immune system, because I truly believe that food it begins in your kitchen, not the doctor's office.
Right.
Right.
So, a lot of what's going on is that this pandemic has put a massive microscope on how deficient we are as a society in terms of who's getting sick, what communities are getting sick, poor communities, people of color. I mean, I grew up in East LA myself, in a very poor community, and where there's less access to good foods, there's food deserts, so to speak. And so we're trying to tell people, don't worry about not finding meat at the market. Use that to your advantage and start getting more vegetables and fruits, rice, which is power food, and it really boosts energy and your immunity. And that way people are eating less and less processed foods and junk foods, which lower your immunity.
Right.
So this is, you pay attention to what you're doing to your kids and to yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think what happens is when there is that deficiency, like when you run out of meat, people immediately go into the canned foods or the packaged foods. Instead of the fresh vegetables and fruits that would actually make them stronger, the immune system.
Yes.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to get that message out there. I mean, we do some immune boosting IV treatments at the office currently,
Okay.
because that our way is again about prevention and empowering and boosting the immune system.
What is the 3-day weekend cleanse?
Well, I'll let her take over.
Okay.
Although it can go up to 30 days, it is actually only 21 days of actual cleanse. The last 10 days is about reintroduction of food.
But I think she mentioned the 3-day.
Oh, the 3-day.
Yeah, the 3-day.
The 3-day is just kind of a fast way to get your immune system boosted. Basically, it comes with, I don't know if you've heard of the fast mimicking.
Fasting mimicking?
Yeah.
Fasting.
Okay.
Right? So it's a way to get your body into a regenerative mode where you're fasting during the day and then you're having like a small vegan meal at night. And the whole concept of the fast mimicking, obviously, is to get the body to a fasting mode where when you're fasting, you're basically, your body is needing to recycle like old cells to regenerate new ones.
Okay.
So you're missing fast, although you're eating, throughout the day.
But throughout the day, you're drinking these high potent spices.
Yeah, detoxifying.
Like cayenne pepper.
There you go.
Oh, and one of my favorites, turmeric, but one of my other favorites is the chlorella, which is algae. And I know people throw stuff at that.
Good. Is that good bacteria?
It's actually an algae.
Okay.
Algae, and the point is that this algae has more protein than certain meats. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
It's not quite a source of protein for that purpose, but it is a source of protein, but because you're only getting like 5 grams, you're getting a total of about 15 grams of the chlorella. So you are getting some protein in it.
And so the whole point is that as you're drinking these various little spiced waters, because the 3-day comes with this flask, you put your water, you put the spice, and each spice is different because they each have a different function.
Right.
So like ginger is anti-inflammatory, just like turmeric.
Right.
But they also have respiratory problems like asthma and to prevent infection, which is what COVID is doing.
Right.
And chlorella also has vitamin C and zinc and magnesium. And zinc is awesome. So anybody listening to this right now, you want to take zinc daily, you can take a supplement like 50 milligrams a day. But the 3-day, and the reason zinc is so important is that it has the ability to increase what are known as natural killer cells and T cells, which are the frontline soldiers of our immune system. So a lot of people that are dying from COVID, they're immunocompromised, they have decreased natural killer cells, decreased T cells, and when the virus comes in, those are the first 2 guys it knocks out.
Right.
So by increasing this and your ability to fight off infection.
Right.
So the 3-day, like Teresa was saying, you're drinking water, so you're not with the spices, and then you're having that vegan meal, which could be lentil beans, it could be rice, vegetables, fruits.
A light vegan meal at night.
And what happens is that as your body has less food stuff in it, it gets rid of all the dead tissue, like what she was saying, and for this reason, it makes your immune system stronger.
Right.
It's all
and it's funny because the 3-day, although it is immune boosting, this really couldn't come at the right time because every ingredient in there is about boosting immunity. And, they're also detoxifying and they're immune boosting. So,
I would like to, Dr. Roberto, I would like to know, how do you feel about the vaccines, like the flu shots and things of that nature? How do you feel about that?
I used to be a family practice doctor at and, there was a lot of issues that I saw with our medical system, and I thought that it focused too much on maintaining your disease stable.
Yes.
Versus heal.
Right.
Right.
And so when it came to things like vaccines, here's the issue. A flu shot is created for a specific type of virus, a specific type of flu. But the problem is that flus and viruses, they mutate. So you might be protected
That's
against
right.
one. But if you get infected from another one, you're going to get sick.
Right.
And so what is my general point here is why don't we just build up a strong immune system?
There you go.
To fight this.
Whatever attacks you, you can fight it off.
Yeah.
That one particular one.
And so I know we're talking about, you know, zinc and also like C, which is awesome because it's also boosting its viral killing instincts in our body. And my point is that if people eat foods like oranges and mangoes and
Vitamin C, yeah.
a lot of vegetables like spinach, okra, and kale, all these various types of greens,
Right.
your vitamins that are going to boost your immunity against all viruses. I've been doing this for years, and I mean, you know, my wife can tell you, but I don't get sick.
Right.
And you don't get sick because you're a doctor. I say, no, that's not the reason. It's because what we put in our body is what matters. Because in fact, when I was working at Kaiser in the late 90s, early 2000s, is when I was in my worst health. You know, I had weight issues, I was always tired, and I had high cholesterol levels, but I was eating a lot of, like I said, the crap diet,
Right.
a lot of processed food, sodas. And so when I moved away from that, because at the time Teresa was pregnant with our daughter, I said, I want to be around for her a long time. And so I just started eating more just fresh foods that I enjoyed.
Right.
So when I tell them, don't go on any diet. Pick the foods that you love from whole foods. The fruits, the vegetables, the beans, the proteins that you like. But you got to get cleaner and cleaner, which is true.
Right.
Because otherwise, a lot of the, particularly the meat proteins, have injected hormones.
Yeah.
And cause cancers, inflammation,
Right.
obesity, all these issues. So it really does matter what we put in our body, but it doesn't have to be a diet. I don't believe in diets. I believe in just eating
Healthy.
whole, fresh you could.
Yeah.
But I enjoy occasional donuts or ice cream or
Right.
junk. You know what?
So you're a firm believer in you actually are what you eat, right?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell us all the things that you have as far as your detox water and even the 3-day cleanse. Could our listeners, could they order anything from your website, the iBody?
It'd actually be under iBody Detox.
Okay.
Started separating the product line from the clinic. These are mostly services, but it used to be together, but we separated it now, so it makes it order.
Okay.
What we've done a lot here at the clinic over the years is literally eliminate diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, chronic fatigue, anxiety, depression by focusing on the food. And then we put them through these detoxes, as you're saying, that whether it's 3 days or 3 weeks.
Right.
And that's the more the merrier, because you're cleaning up the major immune organ of your body, which is the liver. And, you know, a lot of us, you know, if we abuse cocktails or fast foods, the liver's a workhorse.
Right.
And it does decades until your body gets tired of you and says, F this, because now it's telling you, pay attention, and you can start making amazing advances by simply making a shift like we teach our patients here. And when they go through the detoxes, they realize, you know what, it was a challenge, but more here mentally. Because once they went through it, they're like the way I feel, I like the way I look.
Right.
I could eat and not feel hungry all the time.
Right.
And the reason, true, James, is that when you're a carboholic, like I used to be, you just don't. And what happens is that you're always hungry. And I tell people, test yourself. Eat a bowl of cereal for breakfast one day, and then eat eggs and maybe some avocado the next day for breakfast. When you eat the cereal, you're starving about an hour later.
That's true. Your body like attacks it.
Exactly. But when you eat the good fats and the proteins, hours is not longer. So the point is that when you start becoming less of a carboholic, I tell people it's like you're becoming this high performance car where you're only going to put good fuel in it. Otherwise, if you put poor fuel in a high performance car, that thing's going to break down. So that's what happens to our bodies.
Yes.
And ways of detoxing is really just teaching people
Right.
how to eat. And when your liver gets cleaner because of the foods you're eating,
Right.
you sleep better, more energy, your skin looks better.
Yes.
You just energy overall.
Dr. Roberto, I have a question. Can you explain to our listeners what's the difference between an organic vegetable or a vegetable that's like bought out of a mainstream grocery store that's been sprayed with chemicals and things of that nature? What's the difference?
The difference is how these fruits and vegetables are grown, whether they're going to use chemicals or chemical seeds, like GMOs, what are called GMOs, modified organisms. And so what happens is that if the fruit or the vegetable is not organic, you're going to ingest all these chemicals.
Yes.
And here's the problem. Beings, or even as animals that are fed GMO seeds, we weren't meant to consume chemicals and poisons, really.
Right.
This is why we're seeing a lot of obesity and diabetes. I mean, this country, I think, is already like close to 80% obese.
Yes.
So a lot of it is due because of this chemical agriculture that started about 50 years ago, a lot of wheat and corn. And that's why there's gluten sensitivities.
Yeah. Me.
Organic, you're not getting all these chemicals. It's a cleaner. And this is what I say, James, to all my patients. The most organic you're going to eat is what's grown in your backyard.
Okay.
Or your neighbor. So if your neighbor's not looking, that's when you steal the fruit from them. When I was a kid growing up in East LA, my neighbor's plums were the most delicious thing.
Oh, yeah. I believe that.
So the point is that if people would have even one tree or a tomato plant or whatever, that's organic. It doesn't have to be something that's expensive from a fancy market.
And you will notice the difference in the taste.
Yes.
Modified. It looks beautiful, like this apple that looks so shiny and beautiful and perfect. And you smell them, and it doesn't even smell like an apple.
Yes.
It's because it's really kind of an apple looking like an apple.
Yeah.
But it's been
Can I share this with you? I used to get on my wife because, as you guys know, if you go to an organic store, it's going to be more expensive. And I'm a cheap guy, so I'm like, hey, you can go to Kroger's or something like that compared to Whole Foods or something like, of that nature. But as I begin to realize the health effects of that, I realized that it's best to pay a little bit more in order to live longer.
Because down the line, you're probably going to pay a little bit more health issues. So it's kind of a good investment.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, I think it teaches people kind of to eat less. You know what I mean? Like to get used to eating the normal way. I don't know, when I'm in Asia, when I'm visiting, my family in the Philippines and I order food and the serving of foods are so tiny and everything is just served super
size.
Right?
James, to answer your question even more so, this is what I noticed with myself. So when I was having my weight issues, when I was a carboholic, and I shifted to what I call a fataholic in a good way. And that is that as I started snacking on things like nuts that I like,
yeah,
like almonds, walnuts, I eat avocados every day. What happened was I noticed I just wasn't as hungry anymore.
Okay.
So I thought, yes, organic food's going to cost a little bit more. But you're going to notice you're going to be eating less. So it starts to balance out.
Okay.
Into saving money because you're eating less nutritious.
Because
you're eating less food.
It's more dense in nutrition.
Yeah, hyper nutritious.
Yeah. Okay.
And to about 210 pounds, and I ate less than her. I feel so full from the foods that I do eat
Yes.
that before, when I was eating all the junk, I was always eating the junk because you're never full, you're never satisfied.
Right.
But it's logic problems, hormonal. Your hormones don't know when to turn off to tell your brain you're full. But when you're eating good fats, olive oil and salads, organic eggs, that way you don't have hormones in them.
Yes.
All these are very filling. And basically, the way I eat is what's called the Mediterranean style.
Okay.
That way, there's always variety. So I always tell people, pick the whole food variety that you enjoy the most, and you'll feel good about it mentally and physically, and you start to burn fat.
And way, this has kind of become, that's why the cleanse has kind of become a foundation of our practice, is because when we put somebody on a cleanse, they learn this journey along the way. You know, they're finding the foods that they like because they're forced to kind of be on that program. Well, okay, I'm going to avoid gluten. I'm not going to eat meat for 10 days. I'm going to avoid dairy, all these things. So now they have to get creative.
Right.
And finding, you know, are delicious. And after that 21 days, that change happens here.
Yeah.
And you realize,
a lot of magic up here.
I can do this. I can eat this way for the rest of my life if I want to feel this good.
And to be honest, I think the biggest impediment to someone becoming healthy is their head.
That's true.
Yes.
That is so true.
Because everything is really mental. You know, we just have to gain control of it instead of letting our actions take over.
And, you know, it's so tempting to, you know, to fall back on the things that, you know, you love compared to things that you know are healthy. Like if I'm riding by like McDonald's or something like that, my mind's telling me to get it, but my body's saying keep going. You know?
You know, to get the ingredients and make yourself a much healthier burger at the house.
Yes.
And, you know, get meat that's not going to be
Grass-fed,
pumped with hormones. You could get creative with whatever you want in the burger. But, you know, I always tell people, like, if you like the onions or, you know, if you want to put chili peppers, things that are fresh, but they're filled up with vitamin C.
Yes.
And, you know, your greens. And then this way, you can enjoy your burger and you can make your own French fries, cutting up your own fresh potatoes. The right oils, too. Get away from corn oil, get away from these vegetable oils, and focus more on cooking things like with grapeseed or coconut or red palm.
So you're saying that the vegetable oil is not good?
Good, because all these like canola and corn oil and peanut oil, they're synthetic. They have what I call trans, leads to inflammation, heart disease, and cancers. So you get away from those vegetable oils, and think of it this way: when the vegetable oils started, like in the late, like around the 1950s, and the whole thing was about eat low fat. From that point forward, we've become sicker and fatter as a society. So what does that
I believe that. Yes.
Wrong. So the point is we should be eating healthier fats. Like you said, the nuts, the seeds, the olive oils, organic eggs, fish fats. Lamb is actually, for people that like lamb, it has what's called, like fish, omega-3 fats, which reduce inflammation. The problem, we see a lot of issues in this country is everyone's focused on what are called omega-6 fats, pork, chicken, beef.
Yes.
But not regularly, maybe a couple times a week, and try to have fish, or try to have some days where you're just vegetarian for a day.
And I do want to mention that now that we're talking about fat, you know, there's a lot of vitamin deficiency because people think fat is bad for you, right? So they eat low fat all the time. But we have fat-soluble vitamins that we need to have in our bodies. So if we have very little fat, we're not absorbing those vitamins because, you know, they're just going out the door because they're fat soluble.
And that includes vitamin D, A, E, and K. And speaking on, most people that I see are deficient in vitamin D.
Okay.
D as in dog. about this a lot, and I don't know if you knew, but I have a book out.
Yes.
It's called Their Health,
Yeah.
and I make a big vitamin D because a lot of people. Where do you guys live?
In Ohio.
Ohio. I was in Michigan for medical school, so I know where you are.
Okay.
Okay.
My point is that here in California, everyone thinks they have a good vitamin D because it's sunny here a lot. But the fact of the matter is most people are indoors or they're constantly putting sunblocks so they don't allow the D from the sun or to get created in their skin from the sun. So the point.
You guys' phone is breaking up. It's okay.
Okay, welcome back.
And I tell people, make it a point, like, especially now, during these quarantines.
Yes.
Walk in your neighborhood and go shirtless, or if you're a woman, you wear like a bikini top, whatever. Get as much sun exposure, at least for about half an hour to an hour, because it helps you mentally, but it's also boosting your vitamin D. Otherwise, vitamin D supplements with the D3,
yes,
or foods that are fatty like salmon or sardines or anchovies, which a lot of people don't like.
Okay.
But also eggs and what all have vitamin D. So getting it from the outside sun, those foods, or a supplement, because too many people are low in D, and that suppresses your immune system also.
Yes. Dr. Roberto, I'm so glad you said that, because here in Ohio, it has been like cold one day, rainy the next. And so today we had like 60-degree weather with the sun shining. I went outside today and felt so refreshed. I mean, I was at peace.
It's different. Huge. And this is a big part of our health. It's what's going on up here. And if we're always enclosed, we're not getting sun, and we can't interact with people how we used to in the past, and that used to help our immune system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids, if someone got chickenpox and another kid got it, you build up your immune system this way. I understand COVID's different. It's a different animal altogether. But the point being is that we need this kind of interaction so that people can understand how we build immunity. It's also through connection with people.
Yes.
Someone who's coughing on you, but the point is someone who's not symptomatic but is carrying a virus can give you that information so that your body starts to build up its own immunity. And being enclosed away from the sun, we're only suppressing our immune system. And then if we're eating junk foods, we don't have a chance. And if you have a chronic disease, now you're really in a bad situation, especially with how potent this COVID virus is.
Yes.
So as far as them saying like the heat will take away the COVID virus, is that true?
Certain viruses don't do as well in higher temperatures, and COVID virus is one of those.
Okay.
It prefers. That's why you always hear we're gonna have a second wave in the winter.
Yeah.
Worse. Bottom line, whatever's going on out there, the point is, what are we doing in here?
Okay.
Because what we can arm ourselves with so that we can live with less fear.
All right.
Sure, we're going to see, everything that's being talked about, but we have to take it another level. And that's why I think this is the time to make a shift towards what it is that we're actually doing to our bodies on a day-to-day basis. Are we eating sugar all the time? Are we eating candy? Are we eating all this junk stuff, which is okay, James, once in a while, to treat yourself. But I even tell people, look, if you have a sweet tooth, which she has big time.
Uh-oh.
I do too.
That's why I made my own sugar.
Yeah.
No calories.
Yes, which is true. And the whole point is we try to introduce diabetics and anyone who's trying to lose weight better alternatives. So, sweetener, raw honey, stevia is a plant. And these are better alternatives. I'd rather have someone, like if someone's going to drink a soda, a regular soda than a diet soda.
Okay, I've heard that.
Fake sugars that are cancer causing.
Right.
So you might as well go for the one that is going to be less toxic to your body.
Right.
But that, try to make it a point to have more fruit, which is high in water.
Sugars, right?
And the natural sugars in fruit are not the same as table sugar.
Oh, okay.
Fruit actually are healthy in the sense that they don't spike up your sugars in your blood, and it has a lot of what are called antioxidants and all flavonoids
Yes.
that help get rid of toxins.
Yes.
So eating is something I'm always encouraging people to do.
And Dr.
And what we go through when they, of course, have the desserts while they're on the program, right?
Mm-hmm.
They slowly start to learn that when they are craving something sweet, to reach for the fruit.
Yes. I have been diagnosed with hypoglycemia, and I love sweets, as I just already raised my hand. And I was scared to eat fruit because I thought that my body would attack the fruit, the sugar in the fruit. So you're saying it's good to eat fruit?
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
I my diabetics eat fruit.
Right. I mean, there are certain fruits that are higher in sugar than others. So you want to go with the ones that, if you're going to eat a lot of it, go with the ones that are still sweet, but lower in sugar.
The fruits that I'm constantly recommending to people are the berries, anything in the berry family.
Okay.
They're the high antioxidants, and someone's called resveratrol, which you see in red wine, red grapes.
Okay.
Antioxidant. My point, though, is that I don't want someone eating just fruit all day long.
Okay.
But vegetables, have your fruit, have what I call the legumes or the beans from the bean family.
I love beans.
Rice, brown rice, and then whatever other proteins of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then this way, and like I say, the good fats, the good fats, the good fats. Your avocados, eggs, your nuts, your fish, your olive oil, because it's the good fats that give you a lot of energy, and again, you feel real satisfied. So try this.
Uh-oh.
You guys are breaking up a little bit. There you go.
There you go.
Mornings, start incorporating a healthy fat, and it keeps you energized longer throughout the day. Not at midday or something. If you feel hungry, have a piece of fruit, have a handful of almonds, or have a meal. But the point is you're going to notice just naturally. You're going to feel less and less hungry, but more and more energy. It's a great trick.
Right. And snacking throughout the day, eating throughout the day, more frequent, smaller, frequent meals actually help you.
Okay. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Dr. Roberto, I have a question. For 3 years, I was a vegetarian, and the doctor told me after he took my blood, he said I had like an iron deficiency. He was saying because I was, only eating vegetables and things of that nature, I was not getting the proper amount of iron. What foods could I have took or I could have eaten that would have gave me that iron back?
Well, now are you still vegetarian?
No, sir. I'm trying.
Okay. No. And again, it's a food choice because sometimes as a vegetarian or as a vegan, depending which way you go, sometimes we do have to supplement because B12, for example,
okay,
it has iron. So as a vegetarian, you would have wanted to supplement with a B12 supplement.
Okay.
To take daily so that you can start increasing your iron storage and iron absorption. Yeah. And one type of food, I'm saying for non-vegetarians, that a lot of people don't like to eat. I don't mind it, but it's normally called like peasant food, but like organs, like liver and stuff, or basically. But yeah, those can be high in iron. But what I tell people is to do it vegetables that you like, a lot of the greens, particularly the bitter greens, find iron, like in spinach, kale, this sort of thing. The point is I always tell people, search the types of foods that you like, number one, because of the flavor. Because health food should taste delicious.
Yes.
It should be like, there's food that's good. It should be delicious. And this is why Teresa went to culinary school, because even her, who always experimented with dishes, she realized that you could eat a salad with avocados and it could be delicious. You could add some.
Oh, man. So, Teresa, you're a chef? Are you a chef?
Sorry?
He's a home chef.
Okay.
Okay.
So she.
But I mean, it helps though here when when we have patients that are kind of going through a lifestyle transformation. They come in here and they learn how to eat, and when you look at the foods that they eat, because a lot of people, they tend to like certain things and eat them all over and over and over again because that's what they love. They stop exploring, and so that there's an imbalance. Particularly if you're vegan, you don't really have a lot of variety.
Right.
That's me.
And it would probably, if you have like a natural, like clinics like us that just kind of focus on nutrition, for them to evaluate kind of your food eating habits and kind of give you a way to just balance the way with the foods that you love. They could evaluate like maybe at your food journals and say, okay, this is what I eat in a given week. And then they could see, okay, you could incorporate more of these and these and that in order to get a more balance.
And it feels more natural to the patient, especially when we deal with different cultures. And so, because we deal with a diversity of cultures here in LA, we always tell them stick to the spices and the flavors that you like, your palate. Look at it from the perspective of whole foods, and then this way, they start understanding what they can eat and keep it delicious. Because then they make that emotional connection to the foods and they really enjoy them.
Yes.
See, lately I've been going to the grocery store. We have a lot of farms out here, and we have a lot of organic stores. So he used to have a fit when I used to buy brown eggs instead of the white eggs. And then I'll buy lamb or plant-based food like meats and everything. And he was like, that's too expensive. Yes. But now it's to a point he's getting his momentum,
that's
and he's accepting it now.
And honestly, the more we start patronizing this type of foods, I think the cost will go down, because then, when there's demand of something, it's always more expensive, right? And I think, like I said, if you are eating really good quality foods, you'll find that your body is not as hungry because it's getting the nutrition.
Yes.
Eating less and less, but getting more and more nutritious foods.
And here's what's interesting: when you crave something, it's not really coming from the brain; it's coming from your body.
Asking for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying earlier, when you put these high dense foods, whatever it is that you enjoy, your body tells your brain, "I'm cool. I'm not craving anything."
Yes.
But like people, if you still have that little sweet craving, have a spoonful of a nut butter, or go for it. Have that piece of cake or whatever. Yeah. That way you don't feel deprived. Because once someone feels deprived, they jump off, they go back to all this processed stuff. So balance going through the process, and you realize over time that it's not going to be that expensive because you'll be eating less food. I attest to this because it just happens to you. Yeah. And a lot of our patients say, I'm just not craving as much. I'm just not as hungry anymore.
Right.
And that's because this junk food with this whole food that they like, that they chose, and they said, I could do this day to day, week to week, month to month. And then it becomes a lifestyle. And that's what we encourage people to find a new lifestyle versus, I want to do this for a week and then I want to go back.
Yeah.
It's about just going forward at your pace and replacing things over time and not being afraid of good fats, not being afraid of fruit, and have your little goodies here and there, and it feels much more person.
So would you guys say that it's best to actually have a food journal?
So that you can see, even you, if you do a food journal, at least do it for a week and take a look at how you're eating, and you'll be surprised. Like, oh my God. Because in a day, you don't realize it. I mean, but if you journal it for a week, even you will have a good assessment of how you eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he'd probably, like, we used to have cane sugar compared to regular sugar, and now he won't even mess with the regular sugar.
I want brown sugar. If I eat sugar, I want brown sugar.
Instead of using the brown sugar, like I said, you go with some of the things like raw honey, or you can go with either like the stevia or the monk fruit, which you're seeing more and more. It's been in Asia forever, but you're seeing it here.
I'm going to send you a sample of our.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that.
If you taste this, it feels just like sugar, and it tastes just like sugar.
Oh,
I'm not a person anymore, but when I tasted the monk fruit, blindfolded, it tastes exactly like sugar. But what's awesome about monk fruit is that it has antioxidants.
Oh, we need that. Our body needs that.
It's actually something that's good for the body, but it satisfies flavor.
It's the flavor. And, and I can relate to you because, he's told you, I love my desserts. I love my sugar.
Right.
But, try to not have it every day. Or, like, if I do have it, like, if I know I'm having just a little bit too much of it, then you know what? I'm not going to reach for the fruit. Or, like right now, mangoes are in season, and I get boxes of mango because I'm always like satisfied and craving.
Well, Dr. Roberto, we're almost going to be out of time. I would like, to concentrate. I would like the people to know, how can they purchase your book? How can they find out more about you guys?
Well, as far as the book is concerned, it's called WTF, what the food is wrong with our health. And they can find it on Amazon, online, since bookstores aren't open right now.
And even if they search him, Roberto Tostado, WTF is wrong with our health, it usually pops up right away on Amazon.
Or they could go to
our
our website, which is what is our website?
Our website is theibody.com.
All right, Teresa, thank you. You're like me, Doc. I have to go to my secretary.
Detox.com, and the sugar is thegrinningmonk.com.
Okay,
we are definitely going to check that out because we in a health phase right now. We may even be reaching out to you guys.
No, we will be reaching out to you guys.
Address, and I'll send you the sugar. You like brown sugar? I'm going to send you the brown one.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed this interview. I enjoyed your company.
Very
I
informative.
appreciate you for coming on Life Her Podcast.
James, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate this time and sharing information for you.
Thank you, guys.
Any question, feel free to email us at, Dr. Tostado at theibody.com, Dr. Tostado at theibody.com.
Yeah, all questions.
Any questions at all?
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys so much, okay?
Bless you.
Bye.